All right. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Saaghe Fogwe podcast. If you're just joining us, get comfortable. We are gonna have a good show today. It's an interesting topic. It's something that we need to talk about a lot in our community. The topic today is life as a young adult. The subtopic is the mental turmoil. A lot of young people in our community, they have a lot going on. They have different ways of expressing it. Parents understand them. Some parents don't understand them. Depending on where you grew up, it makes a difference as to how young adults are either treated or understood, misunderstood, whatever it is. Every community needs to understand that they are in a different generation. They think about things differently. Might not relate with their parents because their parents are from another generation. Like the lady who's coming on right now, she's going to talk about herself. She'll talk about her life, and hopefully, help to merge the thoughts of young people and the thoughts of young adults. So I'm not going to take steal the thunder from her. I'm going to go ahead and introduce this young lady. She's no other person than Miss Kimberly Escareno, and I'm sure I butchered it, but she'll let me know. Welcome, Kim.
Hi,
Hey, good to have you.
good
How
to
are you
be here.
today?
I'm doing good.
Good. You look relaxed. Nice background. Look as sharp as a steak knife.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go straight into the show. So
Mhm.
some people know you. Some people watching they know you. Others don't. So please introduce yourself to our viewers. Let them know who you are, your background, anything you want to know, so they know that you're a real person. You're not an AI engineered
Yeah.
robot on my show. Go ahead and introduce yourself, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm the eldest daughter to two immigrants. I'm a first generation. Um, I'm also a small business owner, and I'm a book lover.
Awesome. That's it. Very summarized. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
She talks more than that, guys. I
yeah,
promise you, she talks more than
I do.
that. But we'll get to know you as the show goes on,
Yeah.
right? We'll know a little bit more about you.
Yes.
So I work with Kim. So that's how we've had a lot of conversations. During the day, topics come up here and there, and that's why we kind of wanted to have this show today. And we'll have her on here or not because she's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
She might look all quiet and reserved, but she knows a lot about a lot of things. But today
Mhm.
we picked this topic because I think it's a hot topic for young people and also for parents. For those of us who are parents who have kids who are in between that age, young adults, and then little ones who are coming up. It's something that no kid comes with a manual. They don't come with a manual.
Mhm.
Say, hey, here you are. The bird dropped you off with the manual so we can get to know who. No, they don't. You learn as you go along, and we need to have these conversations so that parents and kids, and as they grow from teenagers into young adults, we kind of are on the same page and understand each other, and are able to live together.
Yeah.
So before we go into our topic, just tell me what motivates you. What are the things that keep you grounded, that keep you focused? What are those things that motivate you? Tell me.
Yeah. Um, the main thing that motivates me is my daughter because I had her at a very young age, so she keeps me motivated, to do better and to keep going. But also myself, like seeing where my parents came from and their background and how like hardworking both were, and to where they came, like now my parents they're homeowners, they own two homes, they own a land, a property, and all that. So that keeps me really motivated, to continue and keep doing better for myself as well. And just try to do better for me, especially since of some past things that has happened. I try not to let certain things affect me, and to basically like teach myself, to continue on and just to keep pushing it, especially for my daughter and if I ever have any future kids and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, we're having future kids. Okay. Ready to plan a baby shower.
Yeah.
When you say your parents are immigrants, immigrants from where? Give us context.
Yeah, they're both from Mexico.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. That way people know. We don't want to
Yeah.
assume because sometimes people might assume you're from Asia. You know,
Oh no.
you do look
Yeah,
Asian a little
I'm
bit. No, I'm
Mexican.
just just kidding.
Yeah.
So, talk about being a young mother. How is life as a young mother? You
Mhm.
did say you had your daughter pretty young, but
Yeah.
talk to us about that. How is it that you're able to balance, being a mom, working full time, and running a small business, like you said? How have you been able to balance that?
Well, life as a young mom, it can be tough at times, but like my daughter, she keeps me motivated. She's like a burst of energy, like every time she walks into a room, she lights it up because she's just really funny and hilarious, and yeah. But yeah, but I mean, I balance it like with my work life, I work part-time so I could have still that space, so I could run my small business, but I'm also, I am starting up to be a student, so that's kind of an online thing, so I could, still do my work and then being a student, being a mom, and being a small business owner. My family, like I have to give it all to them. They help me like a lot, and my husband too. He's always there for me when I need him. He's my parents, they're up late if I have, if I need them to be up and stuff. And my little sister too, like she's my daughter's babysitter. So she helps me so much to, to watch her and stuff. Um but yeah, but I just always try to do like, part-time things. If I can't do a certain thing with my small business, and I tell some of my customers like, yeah, just give me some time, or just give me a turnaround time so I could be able to put that in my schedule and all that. But yeah.
So you have to be pretty organized. It sounds
Yes.
like you have to have a calendar, you have to plan
Mhm.
things out, and make sure. And having a support system is very
Mhm.
important.
Yeah,
You
it
talk
is.
a lot about family. So for those who try to be an island, like, oh, I don't need family, I don't
Mhm.
need friends, they should listen to you, because
No, yeah.
it sounds like without your family, you wouldn't be able to do the things that you're trying to do, because a lot of young people will separate from their family,
Mhm.
or rely more on friends than their family, thinking that families, they don't understand you,
Yeah.
or they don't like me. I think, but it sounds like you've come to the realization that family is important.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is.
yeah, talk about your small business, because you've mentioned it like 5 times. So,
Oh, sorry.
so
Yeah.
talk to people about your business, what you do.
So what I do is I do a variety of things. Mainly it's like bouquets, floral arrangements. But I also work with like paper arrangements, or cake toppers, cupcake toppers, like anything birthday related. I also do graduation caps. So like if anybody's about to graduate, I also work with that. T-shirts, a lot of bunch of things that go into my small business. I just try to learn here and there so I could have a variety of things and not just like narrow myself into one thing.
Yeah, she does a lot of personalized stuff, So
Yeah.
if you, so before the end of the show, will or at some point, I'll drop it in in the comments or in my YouTube video, so that people can reach out to you. So you
Mhm.
just, yeah, we'll put your contact information in there, because that's what this show is about. Talking about what people do in the community, sharing it so people can reach out and just, you know it's not about me, nothing about me. The title might have my name in it, but the show is a platform for anybody to come showcase themselves, and whatever they do, what you're doing is positive in the community,
Mhm.
so that people know they can support you, basically. So let's take a step back and go
Mhm.
to when you were younger. We've kind of skipped some years, and we're
Yeah.
talking about your current age. But going back, tell me about growing up as a teenager.
Mhm.
Let's start from there. what you've been through, and some struggles that you've had, some obstacles, some things that you struggled with, just so that some people can relate with you, so they don't think that you just came out all together and looking all, like the way you are put together right now.
Mhm,
Let's go back to teenage years and some things that happened, and some things that you've shared with me.
mhm. Yeah, so, as a teenager, it was, a difficult, like, a difficult few years to go through. Before I became a teenager, I did go through CSA, which is, like, childhood sexual, abuse. Um, and that's something that I don't really speak about, I don't really let people know about that because it's just something personal that I try to, go through. I mean, just try to heal myself and stuff. Um, but it didn't come out, like, I didn't realize I was going through it because I was a child until I was 13. And when I was 13, I that happened again with, it, like, some people did some stuff and it kinda brought it out, and, that's when I started self-harming, and I also, has, like, substance abuse. I was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to, and so my parents found out and stuff, and, they helped me by getting a counselor since the school recommended it, and I would speak to the counselor here and there, and that kinda helped, but whenever I think it was, like, my 8th grade year, I stopped self-harming 'cause I was self-harming when I was 13. And then I stopped self-harming when I was in 8th grade, but in 8th grade, that's when I did start to self-harm in a different way, which was, when I stopped eating. So I was these challenges, I didn't know how to handle them. My mom, she tried her best. My dad, he tried his best too and tried to be there for me and stuff. But some of these things are really difficult to deal with, and um, I went back and forth with self-harming, not eating, self-harming, not eating, self-harming because it was just kind of like my go-to of how to basically escape from that reality that I was going through.
Mhm.
Um, and then I would want to say like when I was 16, I had a friend who he was, a person I would talk to and stuff. And that's whenever he realized like, oh my, like I need a lot of help.
Mhm.
And so he was the one that told my counselor like, hey, like I'm kind of worried about my friend and stuff. So that's whenever the counselor called my parents and they talked to him about it and stuff. Sorry, I get a little bit nervous.
It's okay. It's okay. Take your time. Yeah, take your time.
and
Mhm.
and And so that's when I got therapy when I was 16, and, I also got medication. That's when I started my anxiety medication because I didn't know what anxiety was, like, I never knew, what I would feel and stuff, and I just thought there were headaches, like, I thought I was getting migraines or something because,
Mhm.
I never felt that way, and so, the anxiety medication helped, my therapy helped, but then since my mom, she's an immigrant, we never grew up with a lot of money and stuff. So, they took away our Medicaid after a while, and so then I stopped getting medication, and so then that's when I feel like I kinda drew myself into art and stuff, like, I started, how do you say it? Like, painting and,
Mhm.
into that.
Sort of like distracting yourself from what you were going through. Yeah, some kind of
Mhm.
distraction. Hmm.
Yeah, and that's when, I got started to get more into that. I did stop self-harming when I was, like, 16. But I was still, doing substance abuse. I was trying to get away from reality and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, I it was just a lot of challenges. And then when I think I was still 16. I was about to be 17 when my dad got deported. And that's something that like it hit me like, like a ton of bricks. Like it was just something that was kind of like I never thought it would happen to me.
Mhm.
And that kind of affected me a lot too, but it wasn't, how do I say, like, I don't really remember those months. I don't remember, a few things that had happened. I just remember, like, trying to get out of it. I was dazed, like, the most of the time. But also, like, during that time, it was my junior year, and I had some good teachers. Like my teachers, they knew about it, so they tried to help me and stuff, and we would talk about it, and they would always make sure that I was doing good. So, shout out to them because they
Yeah.
helped a lot. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, and then after that, my parents separated. So that was like another big thing where I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like it's just like one thing after another. And it was something so unexpected because we never saw my parents fight or argue. Growing up, we thought they were like the perfect couple and stuff. But things happen and they just separated. And that's when I met my husband. I met him and he was somebody that I could go to. And during that time, I was still like, using substances to get away from it. But my husband, he kind of opened my eyes and was like, that's not okay. And like, I don't like the way you act when you're doing that stuff. Like, you should just, trying to get off of it. And so me and him talked about it and stuff. And so I stopped. And he's like the main reason that I'm kind of doing so much better right now in life. He keeps me motivated. Um, and then, yeah, and then I got pregnant like when I was getting ready to graduate high school. It was like COVID time. I got pregnant.
A
And yeah,
COVID baby.
yeah, she was. Yeah, and yeah, she was a COVID baby, and I had her, and I feel like life since it's been a roller coaster, but she helps me a lot. Like
Mhm.
if I didn't have my daughter and my husband, like I don't know where I would be because they help me so much.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Quite a story. Yeah,
yeah,
and thanks for sharing that
of
because
course.
it's you're going to help a lot of people because
Yeah,
first of all, there are young adults out there who don't have the support system. They don't have the
hmm,
family that cares about them, that or a good friend like your friend who was able to go to the counselor and say something to the counselor,
yeah,
because you have two sets of friends. You have the ones who will encourage the bad behavior, who will
hmm,
encourage the self-harming, who will encourage the substance abuse, who will encourage the negative things are going to bring you down and make it sound like your family is against you.
yeah,
They are the good ones. Your family is the bad, the bad guys. They just hate you. They don't have your best interest at heart.
mhm,
And then you have the good friends out there. So I mean, moral of the story is
mhm.
for kids to make good choices, and kids don't always make the good choice, but just being able to tell who is there, who's a positive influence on you, who has your best interest at heart, and to know that family will always be family.
Yeah,
Your family, no one can love you more than your family. Yes, there's some family members who are not the best, but
agree.
from your story, that it comes out where your family, at the end of the day, they're the ones who are there for you
Mhm.
and have supported you and who were able to help you get the help you need. And it's okay to ask for help. It's
It is.
it's okay to ask for help. It's not okay to just struggle in silence and
Mhm.
not seek somebody to assist you with whatever you're struggling with, because it is a tough life out here trying to balance school, work, life, just being, and then in your case, you're a wife and a mother right now.
Mhm.
And some people, even without being a wife and a mother, life is tough.
It is.
Yeah. So speak to young adults right now. Speak directly to young adults.
Mhm.
Those who are out there who are struggling with making good choices, struggling with balancing their life, struggling with substance abuse.
Mhm.
And just speak to them. Just, speak directly to them.
Well, what I would say is like I understand it's hard, to get away from substance abuse because it took me years, like I would say like 6 years to get off of it. But once you get off and you're sober and you see yourself doing so much better, you feel better. You're just gonna be happy with yourself. You're just gonna be happy with life. Like I understand. As a young adult, like especially on social media, like we see so much stuff on social media, so many people like my age, especially like 22, 23, buying houses, living on their own, buying cars and stuff, and you know quote unquote having all this money. But life isn't like that, especially for people who don't come from wealth. Like, are especially from, like, say for instance, like me, like my parents, they're immigrants. Yeah, like, yeah, they made a life of themselves, but it's not like they gave me all this money. Like, I don't, we're not like nepo babies or anything like that. So yeah, but life can be hard. It's a struggle. But if you get yourself together in your 20s, I'm pretty sure that when we're 30s and in our 40s, and we'll be able to retire and all that. But just surround yourself with positivity. Like me, I really love to read books because it gets me out of the reality that we like live in. So it'll put me in a different reality. We could also do that. Um, but yeah, I would just say keep going for yourself, because I know that it's a struggle, to be a young adult. But take the time to do things that you love. Don't just focus on, work and life and that's it. Especially, like, say for instance, like, you don't have any kids, or like you're not in a relationship or anything. Try to focus on different hobbies that you like, different things that you like to do. Do a puzzle or anything like that. Just something to distract your mind from negative thoughts and negative people. Like, drinking every weekend, it's not okay. Sometimes you could, drink way too much, and it'll become a thing of like a daily thing and stuff. Um, but yeah, just, continue with life. Life is beautiful. Good things do happen. You'll get your money good. You'll have a house. You'll have everything that you love. But yeah,
Yeah, social media has a big part to play, right? You talk
yeah,
about social media because a lot of people portray fake lives.
mhm,
You know, they portray things that are not real, and it's very tempting to for those things to depress people and send you into a mental state, mental turmoil, because you're trying to struggle with why me, why can't I have that, and why can't I, you can, everybody has what they need to have at the time they
mhm,
deserve to. And also you have to be mentally prepared for wealth, because not everybody is, I talk about wealth all the time, I'm always talking about finances. But not everybody is cut out to handle a lot of money, because if
yeah,
you give $1 million to somebody who's not prepared for it, they'll blow it in a week.
yeah,
They'll
I
blow it
agree.
if you're not. So you have to, you have to equip yourself. You have to equip your mindset, prepare yourself for, for that kind of growth. um,
Hmm.
so like you talked about books, suggest some books that would be good, good reads for young
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah. I have some here. Um, I have this one. It's called Quiet Power. It's for introverts like me. I've always been an introvert. I don't really like to speak and stuff, but this book has helped me a lot. Like,
Ignores us at work sometimes, by
yeah.
the way. No.
No, no, but this has helped me, like when I opened my small business, it was kind of like, because I didn't really have any. I mean, I don't really have any friends like that, but this has helped me, like, put myself out there and not to be too closed off and stuff, and just keep, you know, be loud.
Mhm.
And then this one is really good. The Four Agreements. This one, it's like everybody recommends it. Like, and trust me, like, you should read it, because it'll open your mind. It'll make you feel like, I could do anything in life. And then this one is for my trauma people, especially if you went through,
For what people?
my trauma.
Oh, trauma. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like
Wait, read the title again. What is it?
the body keeps a score.
Okay.
Yeah, because this book is about, healing through all that stuff that you've been through, especially if you've been through CSA, SA, anything like that. This will help you so much. But it will, open up that healing phase, and
Mhm.
healing is takes a while. It takes some time. So, just take your time in reading this book, if you do decide to read it. And then this one, I don't have the cover for it, but it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving.
Okay,
And
you'll send me those titles so I can drop
yeah,
it in the comments as well
yeah.
for people. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and well, this one, it's a orange cover, but I use it too much. But this one is really good because sometimes whenever you're an overthinker, I'm an overthinker. I think too much. But this book, it'll help you so much, like, to relax, to calm down, to not overthink things, to remind yourself and reassure yourself that you're doing good.
Mhm.
And the last book I have is The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
Mhm. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is such a good book. Like it has, and it's old, but it has so many
Mhm.
like good um lessons to teach you and all that. Like, yeah.
And
And
it's an easy read too. It's yeah, and it's relevant all the time in no matter what generation, you know.
yeah, I agree. So yeah,
Even for
those are
us old people.
yeah.
She's
Those-
agreed. Did y'all hear her? She agreed that I'm old.
oh,
OMG.
yeah. Yeah, those are the five books that I recommend a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you send me those titles. I'll drop it in the comments so people can read it. So now talk to parents. I know you spoke to because you're both a parent and you're a kid. You're somebody's kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, so speak to parents about the things that they can do to support young adults, to help them out with some of the things that they go through. Kind of narrowing the generations so that the parents how they can help the young adults.
Yeah, I mean, as a parent, I feel like just being there for your kid, if they're going through depression or anxiety, just try to be there, especially if it's anxiety wise, because anxiety attacks, they're so like misinterpreted. Because whenever you have an anxiety attack, you could literally feel like you're dying, and
Mhm.
sometimes our parents don't know how to help through that. But just try to be there. If they have a therapist, try to see if you could be involved with that therapist, and try to get some ideas from the therapist, to help out with your child. And
Mhm.
also, as like a young adult, sometimes our house duties become so much that it becomes overwhelming and like overstimulating. So just being there and being like, hey, like, do you want me to help, or like helping one like maybe once a month, or like taking them to eat or anything like that, that'll help a lot. Or inviting them out, because when you're going through that mental strain, that mental health journey, sometimes it's a lot to handle. And sometimes as young adults, we want to do things on our own, but it shouldn't always be like that. Just try to be there for your child.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've learned a lot. I have her and a bunch of other young ones at work, and they've taught me
Mhm.
a lot. Just talking to them and listening to them, I've grown a little bit, learning
Yeah.
about how to deal with young people and, and not bring the strict African mentality
Yeah.
where you can't, the kid can never be right. So
Yeah.
you're the queen, you're the boss, you're everything. I've learned a lot just listening to them, and they don't know how much they've taught me. It might not show every time, but I'm telling you
Mhm.
guys right now that I've learned a lot from you, and it's teaching me to kind of slow things down and listen and
Yeah.
talk less, listen more. Just so
I
that yeah, you can get their perspective.
Yeah.
Um, so we've talked about you coming up where you are right now.
Mhm.
What are some you've talked about some of the things that young adults can do to distract themselves. So
Mhm.
we want to summarize. We don't want to drag the show out too long. I mean,
Mhm.
we've kind of talked about your story, but are there any final thoughts that you would have to talk to our viewers? Something, maybe a question that I didn't ask, that you expected me to ask, anything of the sort.
Well, I know a lot of people like me, like young adults. A lot of people aren't religious, but I feel like that's something that could help out a lot. Like right now, I'm not on medication. I don't go to therapy because therapy is a little expensive. So I pray a lot. I pray a lot, and I read the Bible and stuff like that. That helps me a lot. Like just praying, especially in times where I'm kind of like where I feel really hopeless and I'm kind of like really stressed out and overwhelmed. Praying helps a lot. And I know a lot of young adults, they don't really like I guess being like put into one category, into like religion and stuff. But I feel like maybe try to open your mind into it. But I also have this book right here. It's called Better Every Day, and it's kind of a journaling book, and it has different prompts that you could do and write about. And journaling could also help
Mhm.
if you're going through certain situations and you don't know what else to do. Um, what else can I say? I don't. I
Any
don't even
particular
know.
people that you want to shout out? So I know you kind of did a shout out to your family and your
Yeah.
husband, but special shout out if you.
Um, to my cousins, because we all suffer from mental health. Our family comes from generations and generations of anxiety that nobody has ever, um, knew what it was.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, shout out to all my cousins. They always help me so much. They're always there for me, and they support me so much. I love them. Um, I want to. I mean, shout out to my little sister. She also helps me a lot, and my dad, especially my dad, because he, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, and my mom as well, because sometimes I have like the worst days ever, and just giving my mom a call, it like calms me down and it helps me a lot. And then also to you and my coworkers, because it's like where I work now, it's like the best job I've ever had.
Aw.
Yeah, like I've never had such a supportive, group of people to be there for you and stuff, where
And
you
we're
can,
all crazy.
yeah. Yeah, working there, it keeps me like literally motivated because I'm like, okay, like we never know what's gonna happen, so it keeps us like, on our toes and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's who I want to shout out.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, for being here today. I mean, it's really brave what you did today. It's brave to not everybody can go on the air and and really talk about your story like you did, but I promise you this is going to change somebody's life because
Mhm.
this video will go, we'll share it, for those who can't watch it live, they'll watch the video later and you will change somebody's life. And we have to keep having conversations like this so that people don't feel like they're alone,
Yeah,
that they're going through this by themselves and nobody understands. But yeah, we do. Even if someone's not going through it, they know someone who's going through it, and hopefully this will change somebody's perspective and also help the parents know how to cope. Because parents, you throw your hands in the air, you're like, I don't know what to do anymore. But now it will make parents understand their kids better and try to change a few things here. And
mhm,
there's always help. There's always someone who will listen to you. Someone, they
yeah,
don't have to be a counselor, just someone out there who will give you that listening ear. And if you notice somebody going through something, please stop, take
yeah,
a moment and listen to them, because you might be the person who's going to stop that person from jumping off a bridge or from hurting themselves.
mhm,
So don't be the one to push them over the edge. Be the one to stop them and be
yeah,
that listening ear and deter them from it. Just saying a kind word to
yeah.
somebody might stop them from that. So I really do appreciate you today.
Mhm.
Shout out to all those watching today. I know our coworkers are watching. The 7 people who are watching right now are probably our coworkers.
Yeah.
But thank you all, and everybody stay blessed. Have a good rest of the weekend. Finish it up and start the next week. We thank you and stay blessed. Until the next show, we'll see y'all. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kim.
Thank you. Have a
Yo,
good one.
yo, bye.